For 2 weeks, the World Cup has been polite. Lose a game in the group stage, you get another. Draw, still alive. It's been a handshake. That ends on June 28th, because that's when the knockout rounds begin, and the tournament stops forgiving. One loss and you fly home. No second leg, no next week. 48 teams walked in. By July 19th, one is left standing at MetLife. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll show you the whole map, every round start to finish, and then I'll show you the exact spots where the Giants fall. Because they will. First, how the board actually works. This is the part nobody explains to you. 48 teams, 12 groups of 4. When the group games end on the 27th, 32 teams survive, and 16 go home. Here's how you make the cut. Win your group, or finish second, that's automatic. 2 teams from every group, 24 tickets, punched. But what happens when 2 teams finish level on points? For the first time since 1970, the World Cup just changed this rule. It used to be simple. Best goal difference wins. Not anymore. In 2026, what counts first is head-to-head. Who beat who? So a team can have the worst goal difference, score fewer goals, and still finish above their rival, as long as they won the match between them. Beating the team next to you now matters more than running up the score on everyone else. 8 more spots go to the best third-place teams across the 12 groups, and those teams never met, so there the old math still rules. Goal difference. Then the survivors hit a round this World Cup has never had before, the round of 32. 32 becomes 16, then 8, then 4, then 2, then 1. 104 matches. 1 trophy. MetLife, July 19th. Now you can read the board. Here's where it gets dangerous. A bracket isn't a circle. It's 2 halves of a ladder, and they only meet once, at the very top in the final. So the moment the bracket locks, every contender gets sorted into a side, and that's where the drama lives. Because 2 giants on the same side can't both reach the final. One of them dies early. Watch the seeds. The teams that win their groups get the kinder doors. In the round of 32, a group winner draws one of those third-place teams. On paper, a gift. On paper. Because a best third-place team isn't weak. It's a side that survived a hard group and snuck through. It arrives angry, organized, and with nothing to lose. That's not a warm-up. That's a trap. And this is why winning your group matters so much. Finish first, and you slide into the softer half. Finish second, and you drop toward the other giants. Sooner. One slip in a group game that looked meaningless can reroute your entire path to the final. And then the collisions start. If France keeps winning its group, and right now France is the betting favorite, its path could run straight into Brazil by the quarterfinals. If Spain climbs back to the top of its group, it could meet Argentina a round before the final. These aren't fixtures yet, they're collision courses. The closer 2 giants sit on the same side, the earlier one of them gets eliminated. That's the cruelty of a bracket. The schedule decides who dies. Sometimes before the football even starts. So let's talk about how a giant actually falls. Because it's already happening. Spain came into this tournament the favorite, the team everyone feared. And in their second game, they were held to a 0-0 draw by Cabo Verde, an island nation of 500,000 people, one of the underdogs we told you to fall in love with. Spain didn't lose, but they didn't win. And in a bracket, a stumble like that is how the fall begins, because it drops you down a seed, into a harder half, toward a giant you weren't supposed to meet yet. This is the modern upset. It's changed. The old way, a minnow scored a miracle and won 3-1. The new way is quieter. The underdog parks 10 men behind the ball, strangles the game, and steals a draw. Saudi Arabia just did it to Uruguay. The giant doesn't get beaten, it gets smothered. And in the knockouts, smothered is enough. Because if a knockout game is level after 90 minutes, it goes to extra time. And if it's still level, penalties. A coin flip. The favorite has everything to lose. The underdog has a goalkeeper and a prayer. And something else is hunting the Giants this summer. The heat. Afternoon kickoffs in stadiums spread across a continent. Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, in the dead of a North American July. The favorites play the most games and travel the farthest. By the quarterfinals, the deepest squad doesn't always win. The freshest one does. That's the death zone. Not a thrashing. A team that refuses to lose, dragging a giant into the lottery and winning it. Defend with everything. Steal one goal, or steal none, and survive to penalties. Make the favorite doubt. It's a blueprint. And the smallest teams in this tournament have already opened the book, which brings us home to the one team in this bracket you actually have a rooting interest in. The United States opened this World Cup with a statement. 4-1 over Paraguay, in Los Angeles, in front of their own crowd. Nobody's calling them favorites. They shouldn't be. 2 games stand between them and the knockouts. Australia in Seattle, then Turkey back in Los Angeles. And in a 48-team field, 1 more win, or even 2 draws, and they're almost certainly through to the bracket. But hosts are dangerous for a reason that has nothing to do with talent. The crowd, the short travel, the familiar beds. 6 host nations have won this tournament, every one of them riding a wave they only get at home. The U.S. won't win it. Be honest, but the bracket gives them a real path to a knockout game on home soil. And 1 home win, just 1, in the round of 32 or the round of 16, and this entire country loses its mind. A quarterfinal would be the greatest day in the history of American soccer. The bracket is the only thing standing between them and that night. So here's the truth about the trophy at MetLife. Nobody wins the World Cup. They survive it. 4 knockout games, 3 weeks, win or go home. No exceptions, no second chances, no mercy. The favorites you've heard about don't get a smooth road to the final. They get a minefield and a schedule that's already decided where the bombs are buried. Some giant is going to step on 1, maybe 2. And when it happens, when a team nobody picked sends a team everybody feared to the airport, you won't be confused anymore. You'll see it coming. And you'll know exactly why. Because the giants don't fall by accident. Somebody kills them. Next video. The Giant Killers. The greatest upsets the World Cup has ever seen, and the blueprint the underdogs of 2026 are using right now to do it again. Subscribe so you're watching when the next one falls.